Hey, it's Wally, and I just want to thank so many people, our potties, the people that listen to the radio station, for partnering together to make a difference in the lives of Ukrainian refugees. This thing over there is a mess. We're entering the 5th month of this, and it's just heartbreaking to see what people are going through and how they're having to live. But here's the upside. Together, we have sent more than 100,000 meals to Ukraine already. These meals are being distributed by 3,500 pastors who are risking their lives every day to minister to these families and get them the food that they need. So if you've given, thank you so much. Now, we're down to the last couple weeks of the month, and how cool would it be to up the ante here and send another 50,000 meals by the end of July? I know it sounds like a lot, but at 25 cents a meal, that's not a lot, and a little bit from each of us can go a long way. I know I've already done my part because I'm never going to ask you to do something I won't do, but think about it. $100 sends 400 meals, and then if you roll that out and do $500 or $1,000 gift, imagine the impact that you're having. So if you want to get involved, you've seen all the hardship and the heartache and thought, man, I wish there was something I could do. This is something you can do. Just join us by texting Wally to 91999. That's Wally to 91999. And the cool part of this is, man, you get to be the answer to a mom's prayer as she's wondering how she's going to feed her children. Again, text the word Wally to 91999. Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All those things we didn't get to during the course of the show today, and we appreciate you being a loyal and faithful potty. I always like running into potties places and, stop me like, oh, I'm a potty, listen, and thank you so much for listening to this stuff. Let me see.
You're going to notice at the beginning of the podcast that Wally sounded very hoarse. He's doing better now.
Yeah, I couldn't hardly talk in the very beginning. Betty Rock gave me some of those Hall's pill gum thingies or whatever, the lozenges.
Candy.
Those are working. Yeah, and they are like candy. It's so good. They're actually working. So this has gotten me to where it's passable, but I know it's hard to listen to. Like, I never like to take days off because I don't feel bad. I just lost my voice. And so, like, I've listened back to shows before where my voice was like this or worse, and I realize it's hard to listen to, and so we won't do a very long Aftercast.
But it doesn't matter. You will listen to me because I will not take a day off
today.
That's right.
I will die on this mic.
That is the way you do it, and that's where success comes from.
Yes. Is it?
Yeah, that's it. The kids don't understand that these days.
Okay.
They don't. Lady Rock, let's start with you.
Oh, we're starting with me?
We're just going to do yours.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, I didn't know this, but only 30 albums have sold at least 15 million copies. I'm sure that number has gone down because albums really aren't a thing anymore.
See, I remember back in the day, like Britney Spears would release an album or NSYNC would release an album and it would go platinum, which is 1 million sales in a matter of hours or a day. And then you're right, now that doesn't happen because album sales, everyone's streaming, so you're not selling as many albums per se. And so I'm still surprised that it's that few bands that accomplish that.
A couple of people that made the list were Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh, I would have thought they were way more than that. They were huge.
Garth Brooks.
He's huge too.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Billy Joel. The Beatles.
Those all make sense.
Led Zeppelin.
They all make sense to me.
Yep. But topping in the top 3. So we have at number 3, AC/DC's Back in Black album.
No.
They sold 25 million copies.
Oh my goodness. You've been thunderstruck. All right, now before you call me and go, that's Thunderstruck, it's not on Back in Black, I'm fully aware. But it's the only AC/DC clip we have, and probably off Back in Black, one of the only ones we could play. There was
I don't understand why they were so big, because his voice sounds like you when you're hoarse.
Well, that's the second guy. That's Brian Johnson. Bon Scott was before him, but Bon Scott died.
What happened?
Drugs and stuff. He lived a hard life, but he sounded just like that. Those two guys are real similar, but he lived a hard life. I remember this album coming out. I was at my friend Grant Henderson's house.
Grant Henderson, shout out.
Grant Henderson in West Palm. What's up, man? I think he's a cop now. And it's so funny because Grant Henderson was the only one of my friends I knew his address. And so that was always the name I used if I got in trouble. I'm like, my name's Grant Henderson. I would give his address. But it was like, he got this album, and it was a physical album, so we had a record player. And I remember being at a party at his house and playing this whole album back to back. Back to back. We played it just over and over and over.
You played Back in Black back to back.
Exactly.
Woo.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that was yet another party that I thought I was going to kiss a girl, and it didn't pan out. That's a lot of my high school parties, man.
What happened?
It just never worked out. You always go to every party.
Try?
Oh, yeah.
I think he chickened out.
You would go to every party thinking, "This is it. This is the night. This is gonna be the girl that I proclaim my love to, or that like something's gonna happen and like something magical." And then every time it's just you and your buddies standing around going, "I don't like her anyway. She's the worst." As she goes off with Harry. Oh, that
Harry.
Crying to your pillow later.
Harry, that guy.
He was the worst.
Yeah, he was the worst.
Another one that made the list was pretty much their greatest hits from 1971 to 1975. That was an album. The Eagles. They sold 38 million copies.
Oh, wow. I could see a greatest hits album like from a band like that has so many hits being an album that sold a lot for sure.
I love everything that they've done. I watched that documentary. I forget what it was called.
Is it the Hell Freezes Over thing? Because that was the name of the tour. Yeah, I didn't know if they had a documentary.
I don't know. There was a documentary, but
I haven't seen that. I would like to see that. I
really
love music documentaries. I love the behind the scenes stuff.
Me too.
The Metallica Saint Anger one I thought was really good. There's been one or two like on YouTube.
I just recently watched the Jennifer Lopez one on Netflix called Halftime or something like that, because it was about her getting the halftime show. It was true. I had heard that she was angry about the fact that she wasn't going to do it alone, that Shakira was going to be there too.
Boy,
so
but
there was
you wouldn't
some
know it on
injustice
stage because it was like Latinas, yay!
Yeah, Latinas, yay! It was interesting. It was neat to see where she came from and how she got her big break and where she's at now. I watched that, and then I guess I was on a tear. I didn't know that this was on Netflix, but it was called Americana. But it was about Taylor Swift, and her like going through the whole process of Kanye. Why are you looking at me?
No, go ahead. No, I'm listening.
About the whole Kanye West debacle and things like that.
I was say, do that TikTok trend. Put your hand up. Everyone, put your hand up. Everyone, put your hand up. Put your finger down if you've watched the Taylor Swift documentary. You did, Betty? Did you, Gavin?
No.
What?
Did you really?
Yeah, I just said it.
Oh, that was the same one?
Yeah, on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that part of it. Okay, because I watched that. I watched it too. It was the one where she was talking about writing stuff with what's his name from Panic at the Disco. Was that the one you saw? Okay, that was he's great.
But it was after the whole time that Kanye West came up there on stage and was like,
"That's right, yeah.
I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had the best video in the world of all time."
I did see that one. Yeah, that part I did like that. I also saw the Katy Perry documentary.
That one was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Because she started crying right before she went on. What?
Yeah,
I don't want to play this game.
Hand up. Put your finger down.
It's put a finger down.
Put a finger down. I'm going to put one up. Put a finger down. My thumb. If you saw the Justin Bieber documentary that was in the movies.
Wally.
In the movie theater. I did. Am I the only one?
No, I never.
Did you see it too?
No. You are the only one.
Oh, nuts. Yeah, I saw that.
I want to see it.
I took Haley with me to see it.
You always use your daughter as an excuse. Yeah. Don't stop it.
But it's true.
But you wanted to see it.
You guys just both
You would have wanted to see it.
I like that stuff. I don't care who the artist is. I genuinely like seeing backstage footage and people being more real. I've seen like ones on Madonna and all these other ones. Or the Lady Gaga, I've seen one on her.
Yeah, the 5'2" one. That was where she was going through like anxiety and all that stuff. That one was good too.
I always find it really funny and kind of sad and weird, but you're like, it's good that people are like acknowledging God, but when you're standing there ready to go on stage and you're half dressed and you've got all these songs and you got the prayer circle, like, okay, Lord, we just want to thank you. Give us a good show today.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Thank you for us being here. And you're like, these two things aren't fully equating. Like when you go to a For King and Country show, their dad usually does a devotional before the show, or he'll ask somebody to come and speak and do something. So they've got all the band, all the people close to the band, and the people working that are available. And then when you've had backstage passes for different people and record people and stuff. And so before the show, they always do a quick devotional, but it's on brand. Like it fits, it matches, and it's not just surface. It's like something deep. And so I've always really respected that about them, and a lot of other bands in the Christian format do that as well, because it's what they do. But the mainstream bands doing that, it kind of makes me laugh. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I kind of went out of order. I
know
apologize.
you did. I got you.
But the Eagles made number 3 and number 1. That was my fault, but still understandable how I would mess up. So Back in Black,
Totally
AC/DC was
understandable how you'd
25
mess up.
million. Hush. Hotel California Eagles was 26 million.
Gotcha.
Okay, so they also made their greatest hits in number 1. So number 2
Yes.
at 34 million was Thriller by Michael Jackson.
That was huge.
Now I know this song because I skated to it at the skate rink. But what were some other songs on that album?
Oh, Bad, I think. Oh, no, wait. No, that was on Bad. That was its own album, I think.
Let me Google it.
Yeah, Google it and see. This is one of those things where he had so many songs. Is Smooth Criminal?
Let's see.
No, that's
Gotta
a
be
different
starting
one.
something.
Gotta be starting something.
Baby Be Mine.
I don't remember
The
that
Girl
one.
Is Mine.
The girl is mine. That was pretty good, actually.
Was it? I don't know if I know that song.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was on point.
The cover, release, singles, music videos, critical acclaim.
Was Bad on that one? I cannot remember. Because I'm bad. Come on in. I'm bad.
I don't know.
I thought you just looked up the album.
I did, but it's only showing me certain ones.
Really? That seems like of all the things we Google, that would be the easiest Googleable thing.
It has Beat It.
Beat It, yes.
Billie Jean.
That's what I'm thinking of. Now I'm in the pocket. Let's go.
Oh, now you're in
Beat it.
Beat It. No
Yeah.
one wants to be
Because
defeated.
Bad is another album, and that Bad is on that album, yes.
Yeah, there's Bad. So Thriller had a lot of them.
Yeah.
It says it has Pretty Young Thing on there.
PYT, Pretty Young Thing. TLC to the
Wanna
love
be
and
starting
care.
something.
Yeah.
Got to be starting something.
Yeah.
But anyways,
That was a
that
huge
made
album.
number 2, but the Eagles beat him out with Best of.
That was a huge album. That was an album too that like I wasn't allowed to like back then. There's a lot of music that came out that I wasn't allowed to like because of the group I was in. Like I was in.
Oh, I thought you were going to say your parents kept you.
Oh, my parents too. My parents were not big fans
But your
of
friends were keeping you
mainstream
from
music.
it too.
Yeah. Like I was in.
Michael Jackson wasn't cool in your group?
No. Like I was into
too
heavy
pop.
metal and stuff like that, and Anthrax and Motley Crue and everything. And so, so when this came out, or like Duran Duran, like there was Duran Duran songs I liked, but I couldn't tell anybody. Yeah, I was on
Don't
the
you think,
DL.
though, that there were some other guys that were probably feeling the same way?
Absolutely. I do remember my best friend at the time. Like we had listened to everything. We were just metalheads together. And I went over to his house one day, and he was getting rid of all of his albums. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Like, why are you getting rid of Theater of Pain by Motley Crue? Why? What?
Yeah.
He's like, I found Bob Marley. And like, and like he started listening to reggae. I'm like, what in the world? He smoked a lot of pot, but I'm like,
Yeah, he did.
I'm like, what happened? I was so disappointed.
He didn't
in
bring
him.
you over to that side?
No,
You didn't like
Oh, my
Bob
goodness.
no.
Marley?
I was less of a friend after that. Like,
I'm glad
music
that-
was that divisive.
I'm glad that your hair was like rock metal hair
Yeah.
and not reggae.
Yeah,
If you went
Rasta
the
hair.
dread, if you went the dread route,
Yeah, no, but I do remember that. I distinctly remember that, and I'm like, I don't think we're gonna be as close.
Oh, well, maybe it was for the best.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Yeah. Well, let's do some birthdays. Do you have anything? I have one thing.
Oh, I don't. So go ahead.
Okay, here we go. Hey, Wally, I'd love it if you could give a shout out to my husband, Leo. Today is our 18th anniversary, or it's actually Sunday, but we're not here Sundays. She says, maybe you'll remember me from last year when I asked you to do a shout out because I was going to be in another country. I absolutely remember this. And so we did it for them then, and we're doing it again. So happy 18 years. Nicely done. I love to see people that have been married for a long time, because in this day and age, marriages are treated as disposable, you know? I mean, and it's sad because it does. I mean, it takes commitment and it takes work, and effort, and it shouldn't be too hard, but it does. It takes, intentionality to be in a good marriage and to have a healthy marriage for that many years. So good on you guys.
Good job.
And you guys didn't have any. You didn't have anything, Rock, huh? All right. Well, that brings us to
Weekend plans.
Ready.
Sorry, my throat hurts. Weekend plans. I'll start with me, so then I can just listen for a minute. I have to go do a concert today. Go do a festival, a Life Fest happening near us. It's an hour drive from my house. I have to get on a shuttle and then go to the show, and it is supposed to be torrential rain. So everything I love about
timing.
today.
I see the only thing canceling it would be if there was
Lightning.
I
know. So, and they'll hold, and then I got to be there longer.
Oh,
How late do you have to stay?
I have to introduce Mac Powell, and then I'll be like, "Hey, Mac, everybody, it's Mac Powell."
Yeah, right.
If my wife,
you'll end up being there for forever.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be hot and rainy. If my wife would go with me, she's said she's going to go, but I keep telling her not to because it won't be fun. And then I'll worry about her if she comfortable or whatever. But Casting Crowns is tonight.
Oh.
And they are good.
Wow.
It's
a big deal.
If I'm going to listen to music more, I'm going to listen to more bands like Skillet, But for what they do, and if you want a night of ministry type stuff and worship, Casting Crowns is fantastic.
Are they after Mac Powell?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, Mac's opening up for them. I still remember one of my favorite concerts from Casting Crowns was when they had an artist on stage, and he would paint with his hands, and you weren't sure what he was going to do, although it was going to be Jesus. It's going into it, this is what it's going to be. I'd love one time for him to have done the whole picture and then flips it upside down, and you're expecting Jesus, and it's like the Golden Gate Bridge, just to change it up. So he would paint with his hands, and he would do this amazing big portrait in 3 songs. They would time it out and stuff, and it was so powerful as he's painting. You're watching the face of Jesus start to emerge. Have you seen? And it's so great. And then a lot of times they would sell that at the end and raise money for a charity and stuff so good. So I highly recommend them for a worship night. Same with Mercy Me. Mercy Me's funnier, although Mark Hall from Casting Crowns is really funny. A lot of people don't realize that about him, and so he interjects humor and stuff into his stage show. But they're definitely worth seeing. And then, this is weird. My wife has a friend who is coming into town, but it's basically the older brother of one of her best friends from high school. And so she knows him and knew him, but it was he's reached out a couple of times. Hey, me and my wife are going to be there. Love to catch up. And would you guys want to go to lunch or something? And so that's what we're doing. And I'm like, well, kind of like when we went to lunch the other day with the winners and you guys were like, you're talking more. You take the lead. I told her the same thing. I'm like, I don't know him at all. So you're going to have to, and you're an introvert, you're going to have to ask a bunch of questions.
But she knows. She's been with you for many years. She knows she doesn't have to.
All she has to do is
be fine.
Let things get silent for 5 seconds, and I'm going to have to jump in. Yep. So that's my Saturday. But they're really nice. I mean, he's a nice guy, and his family was great. I just never really knew him. I know of him, and I met him a couple times. I was like, oh, he's really nice. So
we'll ask you on Monday how it went.
Yeah, it'll be long.
Percentage-wise, how much did you talk?
She says nothing. Good news is we're going to Tzatziki. So
let me ask this question.
Yeah.
Let's say you get sick or you feel worse tomorrow.
Oh, I lose my throat.
Would she cancel or would she still go?
Oh, she'd cancel.
Would she?
No way she's going by herself. No way.
That's so funny.
Yeah, she would not do that. And not because, it's weird for me to go and I'm married, but just because she would not want to go because she would not want to hold the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Lady Rock, what do you got?
By the way, you started hyping up your plans 2 days ago, by the way.
I did.
Oh, that's right. Let's save her. Let's save her then.
I was going to
save
say
her. Yeah.
I'll
Gavin.
go quick. Mall date with my wife today.
Mall date?
Just going to the mall.
Oh.
I used to do that when I was 12.
Yeah, I know.
That was fun.
Returning back to my childhood, except this time I've got money. So
And you can go get Auntie Anne's. Like, that's the best part of the mall.
we're probably going to eat Chewy's there. I'm excited for some dip.
What mall are you going to?
Opryland. It's our favorite mall. It's one of our favorite malls.
That's
and there's
such a long drive to that mall.
It's about 20 minutes for us. The closest mall for us is like a bad mall. So I forget which one it's called, but I just don't like it. So we're going to Opry because we love all the stores there.
There was a shooting at the Opry Mall years ago. Remember that?
Oh, just years. Okay.
No, months.
If it was like yesterday, I'd be scared.
That was a while ago.
Okay. But we're doing that. Tomorrow, we're coming down to Franklin to see one of our kids in the youth group is doing a play of Annie. Oh. So we're doing that.
Oh, that's fun.
And we'll just hang out down here for the day. And that's it. Betty,
fun.
And enlighten us as to...
Okay, buckle up, Buttercup. Here we go.
Okay.
Tonight, I'm going to a friend's place, and a bunch of us are getting together to play canasta.
Wait a minute. Okay, now you stop for 1 second. You have heaped piles of judgment on me for canasta, and now it's a bunch of old ladies getting together playing canasta.
Isn't that a card game?
It is a card game.
Yeah.
You've never played it?
No. I thought canasta was... No. I was getting it confused with another game where you're like a pilgrim on a pilgrimage.
That's Settlers of Catan.
Settlers of Catan.
I'm thinking Catan.
Totally different.
Different game.
Canasta.
Okay, canasta is a card game.
You see the confusion, though. Canasta,
not
Catan.
Really. Let me tell you this about canasta. You have to hold 13 cards in your hands, and you have tiny hands.
I think it's 11.
No.
I just watched a video about
How many people are you playing with?
6.
It might be 11. It's normally 15. If you play with 4, it's 15. I'm serious.
You said 13. Now you're changing it to 15.
Because when we play with Juju, it's 13 when it goes up.
Okay.
So anyway, you hold these cards in your hand. It's a lot of cards to hold. Mm-hmm. The rules of canasta are so confusing at first. Mm-hmm. Once you play it, it's a lot of fun.
I watched a video on it.
Did you about
the
how
confusing part is how many points are worth everything.
You have to meld first,
right.
and you can't go down until you have enough to meld. And there's all the subtle rules about when you can pick things up. Yeah. Good luck.
So I'm going to play that tonight, and a friend is cooking, and she's so good at cooking. So I'm excited about that.
That's exciting.
And she's got a cute little dog. I say little. She's not little at all. She's huge. Her name is Honey. So I get to see her.
Puppies.
Then tomorrow, those same group of friends, we're getting together and we're going to play Dutch Blitz.
Oh, that's your favorite. Yeah. Wow.
Nice. But it makes me very angry.
Game week.
Oh, it's such an intense game.
Yeah. It is. It's very fast moving. I've got a puzzle that I still want to work on. Nice. Got some TV shows that I want to watch. My little Beanie Boo is just the sweetest ever. Sunday, I'm going to. I'm not finished.
I just want to say I'm happy that you have all these plans, and it sounds